boys and girls. I didn't see you there. I seem to have got myself in a little bit of a pickle here, haven't I? Oh, I'm only joking. I've turned myself into a shadow because this week we're making shadow puppets and your very own shadow theatre. So who wants to do that, boys and girls? No. Do you really want to do that? Oh, no you don't. Oh, go on then. You're going to have to shout louder than that if you want to learn how to make your own theatre just like this. Come on, show me your biggest shouts. Whoa, that was so loud. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get on with the show.
How to make your very own shadow puppets and shadow theatre. What you'll need is some white card, some scissors, remember to get an adult's help when you're using scissors, some baking paper, a shoebox, some paper straws, a black marker, some sellotape, and most importantly, a torch, because how else are you going to make a shadow? Come on, let's get creative. Step number 1, take your shoebox, your scissors and your marker. And what you're going to do is draw a square around the top of the box, remembering to leave about 2 centimetres. Then ask an adult for help and take your scissors and cut out the square. And it should look like this, so you can put that way to the side for later. And then flip your box over and you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Take your black marker and draw a square around the edge. Remember to leave the 2 centimetre gap, it's very important. And ask an adult again for help and cut it out like this. Now you should be able to see all the way through the box like mine. Now we need to secure it, so take some tape and tape down the lid like I'm doing here. Tape all the way around the edge, make sure it's on tight. Now currently it looks like we've just got a box, so we need to make some curtains like they have in the theatre. Just draw them out on your cardboard and cut them out. You can colour them in if you like. Take your shoebox and your tape, and what we're going to do is secure our curtains onto the side. This can be quite fiddly, so remember to ask an adult for help if you're struggling. So we've done one side and do exactly the same to the other. Wow, look at that! For the next step, you will need your baking paper and scissors. Measure out your baking paper so it covers the whole of the screen, like I'm doing here. Remember to ask an adult for help if you're struggling, and always ask for help if you're using scissors. Flip over your box and place your baking paper inside. It needs to be fit to size so there is no creases and it's not baggy. Once you're happy with it, you need to take your tape again and stick it down. Here's mine all finished. Look, there is no gaps around the outside. That's how yours should look. Now's the exciting part, to make our puppets. So take your marker and your white card and draw out your friends. Here's my friend, Mrs. Whiskers. You'll see her later on. Remember, when you're cutting out, to cut only around the outside lines, because when the light hits it will create a shadow. And we don't want a leg missing, do we? That looks silly. Here's Mrs. Whiskers going for her walk. To create eyes in your puppets, you will need to take your scissors and stab a hole through. Remember to ask an adult for this because it can be quite dangerous. And here are all my puppet friends. Now, to create puppets, so your hands don't get in the way, we're going to use straws. So take your straws, squish down the end, and place it on your puppet. Take your tape and stick it down. If there's any excess like I have here, just chop around it. Be careful not to chop your puppets though. Do this to each of your puppets. You could even use one straw for 2 puppets. For example, I want to change the days. So there's sun and the moon. So I'm going to stick them down on either side so I can just spin it. And here's all my puppets finished. Let's see how we make the shadows. Take your torch, turn it on and rest it on something so it faces the back of the theatre. Just like mine is here. Then take your puppets and place it like this, and then it'll show a shadow on the other side. You can also use blue tack to stabilise it. Now shut the blinds, you need to make sure it's dark, otherwise you won't see your shadows. Quick, I think the show's about to start. Come on, we don't want to be late.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful cat called Mrs. Whiskers. They call me Mrs. Whiskers because I have the curliest whiskers in all the street. And she lived with her best friend, Porky Pig. Porky was the biggest pig you've ever seen. That's right, I've won countless competitions for it. Now, you might be wondering why Porky and Mrs. Whiskers were friends. That's because they shared such a passion for singing. La da da da, da 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 da, la da da da. It's not just a passion, it's our livelihood. Every day we sing and sing until we can't sing anymore. That's correct, Mrs. Whiskers. Shall we give the boys and girls a little taster? Meow, 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 meow. That will be quite enough, Mrs. Whiskers. Each night, Porky and Mrs. Whiskers treat the street to their wonderful melodious tunes. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da. But one night there was someone new in town. No one had ever seen anyone like them before. And you are? Me? The name's Spike. I've just moved here and I heard this beautiful singing. Thought I'd come check it out. Spike walked all the way down the street until he reached Mrs. Whiskers and Porky's little home. Wow! So that's where the music's coming from. Cool. I wonder if I can join in. Oh, they seem nice. Let's ask them. Excuse me. But sadly Mrs. Whiskers and Porky could not hear poor Spike. They were singing far too loud. Hello? Hello? Please can I join you? But they carried on singing and couldn't hear poor Spike. Spike was starting to get very angry. Why are you ignoring me? And just like that, he let out a huge roar, startling Mrs. Whiskers and Porky. Who And what are you? And how dare you interrupt our singing? Hello, I'm Spike the dinosaur. I just moved in down the road and I was just wondering if we could be friends. I love singing. And why would we want to be friends with you? Yeah, you're big and scary. You've just scared the living daylights out of us. Spike is awfully hurt by this. After all, he just wants to be their friend. I promise I'm not. I just want some friends. You're a dinosaur. And dinosaurs can't be trusted. Spike began to cry. He was so upset, he shouted, "Why do you have to be so mean?" and runs all the way home crying, "Boo! Boo! 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 Boo!" The next day, Spike is still ever so upset. Boo! Boo! But then he hears a knock at the door. Who is it? Hello? Spike? Please may we come in? No! Please go away! Please, we want to talk to you. The way we acted was not very nice. Spike sheepishly opens the door and pokes his head through. We realise, Spike, that even though you scared us with your big roar, we shouldn't have judged you so quickly. It was our fault. We shouldn't have been singing so loud, or we would have heard you. Thank you for coming, guys, but I tried to tell you. I just wanted to sing with you. I'm not like the other dinosaurs. Mrs. Whiskers and Porky looked very sorrily at Spike. We are so sorry, and that's why we came here. We understand you aren't like the other dinosaurs. We wanted to invite you to come sing with us. And just like that, Spike had two marvellous new friends. Can we sing now? Yes, go on then.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and your miles